Hi, everybody. Well, I've actually been in contact with a few people who've been traveling different locations around the world, and there seems to be one common thread that people have been kind of hinting at lately, and they're just saying that why, oh why, does there seem to be so many angry cruise passengers these days? It just seems like it's always like people are frustrated, people are angry, people are disappointed, people are just frowning. They're not seeming to be that happy-go-lucky cruise people that we're known to see. And I do have a theory. So yes, I've noticed it quite a bit too. There are a lot of people who just seem to be grumpy on the cruise ships, or really angry all the time on the cruise ships, or just don't seem to be having the fun that they used to have when they go on a cruise. And I'm noticing it more and more, but you also have to remember that the cruise ships are more full right now than they've ever been. This is the highest the cruise ships have ever had capacity, and they've also had the biggest amount of ships they've had, the largest ships they've had, and they're sold out over and over and over again. And when you have sold out ships way down into the future, you don't lower your prices. In fact, you raise your prices, and you raise your prices of everything else. So people often choose cruising as a relatively inexpensive form of travel compared to going on a land vacation, paying for, a hotel, park tickets, airplane tickets to get there. You can, drive to a cruise port if one's close by, hop on for used to be like $1,000, $2,000 and go on a 5-night cruise and have all your food and all your entertainment included. You can't do that these days. You cannot jump on the Icon of the Seas for $1,000. You cannot jump on the upcoming Utopia of the Seas. I looked yesterday at the Utopia of the Seas sailing in July, and a 3-day cruise is going to cost me, in a balcony for a 3-day cruise, is $4,000, $5,000 for a 3-day cruise. Prices are going up everywhere, and your food prices at home have gone up. Your mortgage, your rent, everything's gone up. You know what's not gone up? People's salaries. People's salaries have not gone up. But boy, everything else has. Gas prices, fuel prices for your home, everything has gone skyrocketing in the last couple of years. And people have less and less disposable income. So when they go on vacation, they really want it to be something that you can get away from all those pressures, all the financial stuff, all the political stuff, all the garbage we hear day after day after day that just drags us down and pulls us down and gets us in a bad mood. And then we get on a cruise ship and you realize how much money that, compared to just 2 years ago, the cruise is now costing you. You remember if you went on a cruise 2 years ago, how less people were on the ship, and now you feel crowded when you're on the ship. And, that specialty dining used to be $30. Now it's $65. Or, it's just hitting you. Your getaway on the cruise ship seems to be more like everyday life now as far as the prices and everything. And then you get on there and some people are out there and they want to talk politics all the time and they want to do this. You can't talk politics on a cruise ship because no one wins in an argument about politics. If you have a person who's far on the left and far on the right, the odds of them ever agreeing on anything is 0%. Other than the other person is wrong. That's the only thing they will ever agree on, right? And I'm seeing this on my cruises as well, that people just don't seem to be enjoying things, or if one little thing goes wrong, they really get angry. They really get mad. and they let it bother them for the rest of the cruise. For instance, one of the shows has to get canceled because of rough seas or weather. Wow, I see people absolutely freak out. I've seen people run down to the front desk because a show was canceled on day 2 of a 7-day cruise, day 2, and freak out that they wanted compensation because the show wasn't going on that night. Wow, right? You don't hear of that kind of stuff in the past too much. You would hear it if a port got canceled. You would hear it if they, had to cut the cruise early. You would hear it if they never got to a port during the seas because it was, or had to change the complete itinerary. You wouldn't hear it because a show got canceled. But I actually saw that while I was down at the front desk, just saying hi to a friend who worked there behind the counters. And it blew my mind. It absolutely blew my mind. And I really hope this isn't our experience with people in the future, because, and a little bit it is the cruise line's fault. The cruise lines also have to do a better job of some of the things that they do. Like, if they're going to cancel an itinerary or change an itinerary, don't do it the day of the cruise. If you know months in advance that that's going to happen, change it months in advance, let people know. Give them the opportunity to change the cruise if they want. You don't have to give them a refund, but at least let them change the cruise if you're taking out a bucket list item that's on your cruise that you're advertising as a bucket list item. Come and see it. It's going to be amazing. Oh, by the way, we're not going to go there. Sorry. As you're getting on the ship or the day before you're getting on the ship. Don't do that anymore. Also, if there's people being disruptive in a bar or disruptive during a show, there should be security monitoring that and get them the hell out of that area. And warn them that if they keep doing it, they're going to be kicked off the ship. And then do it. Do it. Because me doing a story and other cruisers people covering stories and social media and everything, if we cover a story about a disruptive passenger causing a disturbance in a show, being spoken to, and then still being disruptive and getting kicked off the ship, everyone would celebrate. And it would also send a message to other people who do those kind of things. Maybe I shouldn't do that because maybe it might cost me something and I might get stuck in a foreign country and have to pay my own flights and cost me a lot of money. Because if you're disruptive, the cruise line has 100% right to get you off the ship if you keep doing it. But you don't hear those stories, right? You don't hear the cruise line getting rid of somebody off the ship because they've been... I now know stories of people who are smoking on their balconies, smoking in their room, smoking weed in their room, and the cruise line's informed and they're not doing anything. And so that's why there's a lot of frustrated people out there, because we're going to hold up our end of the bargain. At least we hope we do, right? But the cruise lines also have to hold up their end of the bargain. We're going away to get away from everything. We're paying this money, a lot of money now, to get away from my everyday life and just de-stress. And if I get onto a ship where people are disruptive, you're changing my itinerary at the last moment, the person next to me is smoking on my balcony and I'm allergic to smoke, I'm going to get angry and I'm going to be upset. And I should have every right to do that because the cruise line didn't hold up their end of the bargain. And on the flip side, we have to hold up our end of the bargain and not complain about every little thing that goes wrong. Like a show got canceled. I need compensation because a Broadway show got canceled on day 2 of my cruise. Yeah, we have to do a better job as well.